Hi, good afternoon, folks. In this video, we're going to look at who we think the Sabres are going to protect in the Seattle expansion. Coming up. All right, folks, let's look at this. And before I get started, I want to give the shout out to Mike Phelan. This was his idea. It was a good idea, Mike. Yeah, I think it's about time we look at this too, because this is important. And there's going to be some question marks, why certain players are protected and all sorts of things. So let's take a look at it. What I want to do is go over the eligibility, why certain players will be protected, we don't want protected. Okay, just so you know. All right, so in the draft, we're allowed to protect 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, 1 goaltender. Or 8 forwards and defensemen combined. Example, 4 defensemen, 4 forwards. You get it? 6 defensemen, 2 forwards, whatever. You're allowed to mix and match a number of 8 and 1 goalie. And of course, the odds are I don't think anybody's going to do this in the entire league. But if you got 4 awesome defensemen in your team under awesome contracts, you're going to do it. I'm just saying, you know. And right now, I'm going to go with the Sabres going 7-3-1 because I'm 99% sure that's the way they're going to go. Now, the eligibility to protect players. We have to meet these requirements. 2 forwards must be unprotected or under contract for next year. They have to be unprotected and on contract, okay? They have to be, and they have to meet the eligibility requirements also, which I'm going to go further down here. They have to have played 40 games or more this year, or 70 games combined with this year and last year. For defensemen, same exact thing, except only 1 is required to be open. We have to at least have 2 open forwards, 1 open defenseman. For goaltenders, 1 must be unprotected no matter what. That's under contract for next year, or a restricted free agent at season's end this year. This way they still have his rights, you know? So that's it. If we meet these requirements, basically, we just have to have 2 forwards, 1 defenseman, and 1 goaltender. You know, that's open under these conditions. Of course, most teams will have this without blinking an eye, but I'm just saying, you know? All right, so let's take a look at the Sabres. Now, what I've done, the requirements I just talked about that are met by these players here with the box, okay? If they have a box, they meet those requirements, you know? Meaning they could take these guys too, but they can't take we still have to have 2. 1. Get it? No matter what. That's just part of it. All right, so let's take a look at it. And we're going to discuss who we, of course, should keep and should leave open. Now, here's the thing, folks. Skinner has a no movement clause. And I believe it was something like there's about 16 or 17 less no movement clauses this time around for this draft than there was for the Vegas draft. But it was something like that. It was like 15, 16 less, something like 66 last time and around 50 this time, somewhere in that ballpark. I didn't get the numbers. I didn't mark that part down. But the point is that Skinner, unless, you know, something can be figured out, which can happen. It did happen in the you know, let's face it. What about Fleury? I believe he had a no movement clause and he lifted it, right? If I'm right. So there's a way, you know, there's a way, but nobody's going to be coming knocking on the door for Skinner. So, you know, let's just forget about it. So Skinner's already locked in. That's the problem with his no movement clause. Isn't that they can't take him, is it makes us use up 1. You get it? Because obviously we would leave this guy open. We would. But we can't because he's under no movement. So we automatically lose 1. So we're really the Sabres are only allowed 6-3-1 if you want to go by those numbers. So let's take a look at it. I'm going to give you who I think in our forwards we should keep. I mean, Eichel's a give me, right? We know Eichel's sticking around, and I got to keep 2 of these boxes open. The Jurgensen's thing, Not that I'm keeping Jurgensen's, folks. I got no idea why we signed this guy again. I'm sorry. I know he's a hard worker and everything, but this guy's a first-round bust, and he keeps somehow sticking around our dressing room. Anyway, they got him eligible, but I don't get it because he was out all year, and we didn't play 70 games last year. I'm kind of lost with why he's eligible, but I couldn't figure it out, and I researched, and I couldn't figure it out. It could be just a mistake. But I left it because Cap Friendly had him open. So, Okposo, should we keep him, folks, or do we bypass? Okay, we bypass Okposo. Okay. Sam, of course, we got to keep. That's 3. I'm going to come back to Olofsson in a sec. I haven't forgotten him. Middlestat we have to keep. I'm not the biggest Olofsson fan, folks. I'm really not. Bjork, I like. I do. I like what I've seen already. I do. So that's 5. Now we got Reeder, Sheehan, Kagula, and Jurgensen's. Yeah, Olofsson stays. Eakin, no. All right, and Tage. These would be my 7. Yeah, these would be my 7. So see, look, right off the bat, Okposo and Eakin are automatically, Asplund. By the way, Asplund is not eligible yet, believe it or not. I believe he has to play one more game or something, from what I could tell. But I put his name there anyway, and either way, we're leaving him open, I figure. So Eakin and Okposo right off the bat are eligible. So even if this Jurgens thing is wrong, doesn't really matter, Those would be my 7 forwards, folks. That's the 7 I would protect. I mean, I wouldn't protect Skinner if I didn't have a choice, I would actually, if we didn't have to protect Skinner, I'd probably, God, I don't know, roll the dice. I probably would Asplund. Probably, I'm just saying. I don't know. Not something to think about. I did mention Mike Phelan, right? The shutout? Yes, I did. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Mike, I had you on the other side. All right. Now, defensemen. Let me get on this side so I'm not in the way. Defensemen. We got Risto, Miller, Dahlin, Jokiharju, Irwin, and McCabe. All right. We're allowed to protect 3. So for me, right off the bat, without a doubt in my mind, and I would have got headhunted for this years ago, but I don't give a damn. I knew I was right even back then, is Risto. Without a doubt in my mind. Dahlin, we're only allowed to protect 3, and Jokiharju. Those would be the 3 I'd protect without a doubt. Those are the 3 young studs on the team. Sorry, McCabe, no thanks. Never been much of a McCabe fan either, folks. I don't hate the guy, I like him, but I don't mind if we move him. I really don't. When we sign guys like McCabe and Jurgensen, McCabe I can handle a little more, but guys like Jurgensen, I just didn't get it. I couldn't believe we re-signed him. God, I feel that's just wasted cap space. I'd rather call up some kid during the year. So Miller would be the open defenseman. Okay? Yes, my dog's in here with me if you heard that. Now, goaltenders. We're allowed to protect 1. It's Ullmark. Of course it's Ullmark. And that will be who my 7, 3, and 1 would be. And Tokarski is eligible. So he's got the square next to him. And Miller's got the square next to him. And now, if I'm Seattle and I'm coming and I'm shopping off this team, I got a choice of these guys, basically, or Miller. I think Miller's the obvious pick, right? The truth is I hate not protecting Miller. I do. But we can't just protect 4 forwards. That sucks. I think Miller's the guy. They're going to come. Yep. That's why you'll hear it over and over in other forums. They're probably right. Miller's the guy they're going to take from us. Unless we get lucky and make some sort of deal for Okposo and throw in some draft picks or sweeten it. I don't know. There's always a way, but You have to make some phone calls and try and swing something like that, but I don't know. But yeah, that. Anyway, let's just concern ourselves with who we're protecting. I think Bjork I would protect. Now, let's say we only protected 4, hypothetically. Hypothetically. We have to protect Eichel, Reinhart, and Mittelstadt. I would protect Mittelstadt before Olofsson. I would. Sorry, I would. I like what I've seen with Mittelstadt this year a lot. Really a lot. And I think he has way more of a high ceiling than Olofsson. I think Olofsson's hit his ceiling. I think this is it. He's a power play guy, 20-goal man. That's about it. He has a good shot from the right side, and that's about it to his game. No joke. Whereas Mittelstadt, there's a lot of intangibles. He hates to lose, and I like that about him. So yeah, let's say we took Bjork off there and Thompson and Olofsson, then we could protect Miller. Tell me what you think, folks. Tell me what you think. I think the smart way is to go 7-3-1. 4-4. The 4-4-1 thing. But again, they can only take so much from us. They can come and take a player, right? So we'll have to wait and see. All right, folks. That's it for now. It's not like we'd lose all 3. We'd lose 1. They most likely would take Olofsson. So if I was to go that route and take 3 off here, we're either losing Olofsson or we're losing Miller. Olofsson's quite a component on the power play, so I'd be hesitant to lose Olofsson, also. So, all right, I'm going to leave it there, folks. I'm going to stop it there. Try and run this video as short as possible. I got another one to make for you folks. Got to look at tonight's game. Have a good one.